The natural disasters won't stop. They just keep hitting the U.S. one after another with no end in sight, Michael Snyder reports. Have you noticed that the U.S. has been getting monkey hammered by one natural disaster after another this year? In fact, we've reached a point where some sort of a natural disaster is making news literally almost every single day. This week, there have already been several natural disasters that have made headlines all over the country. Last week, California was hit by a magnitude 7 earthquake. Of course, much of the southeast is still trying to recover from Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Frankly, I've never seen anything quite like this. And according to NOAA, as of the beginning of November, the U.S. had already experienced $24 billion disasters in 2024. In 2024, as of November 1st, there have been 24 confirmed weather climate disaster events with losses exceeding $1 billion each to affect United States. These events include 17 severe storm events, 4 tropical cyclone events, 1 wildfire event, and 2 winter storm events. Will we reach $30 billion disasters by the end of this year? If so, that would be an all-time record. On Wednesday, a bomb cyclone that was expected to unleash hurricane conditions on 8 eastern states was getting a tremendous amount of attention. An urgent weather warning has been issued for 8 East Coast states, with a bomb cyclone expected to unleash hurricane conditions in the region. Meteorologists predict that states from Maine to New York will see the worst impacts, with dangerous flooding and widespread power outages predicted to start on Wednesday evening. This bomb cyclone is going to bring very heavy rain and extremely high winds to much of the eastern seaboard, and we're being told that it will be amplified by an atmospheric river stretching 2,000 miles along the coast. This supercharged storm will bring wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour, as well as torrential rainfall of 8 inches in places, which will be amplified by an atmospheric river stretching 2,000 miles along the coast. An atmospheric river is a long and narrow region of the atmosphere that carries warmth and moisture from the tropics towards Earth's poles. Didn't we just see a bomb cyclone and an atmospheric river occur simultaneously on the west coast as well? Yes, we did. At one time, such extreme weather events were rather rare, but now it's considered to be normal that they happen so frequently. On Tuesday, an absolutely massive wildfire had suddenly erupted in Southern California, was making news. A ferocious wildfire fanned by strong winds burned through Malibu on Tuesday, destroying homes, triggering power outages, and forcing thousands to evacuate along the coast in the dark, wild firefighters struggled to contain the flames. The eastern half of Malibu remained under an evacuation order. The rest of the city and portions of unincorporated Los Angeles County were under an evacuation warning, affecting roughly 20,000 people. A lot of the very wealthy people live in Malibu. In fact, Cher and Dick Van Dyke were among those that were forced to evacuate. Among those that were ordered to flee the enclave near Los Angeles were the former performers Cher and Dick Van Dyke. The Franklin fire erupted late on Monday and grew to more than 6 square miles by Wednesday morning. It was just 7% contained. More than 1,500 firefighters were assigned to battle the fire, with many climbing in steep canyons near lines of flames and others hosing down collapsed roofs of horse stables and charred homes. Of course, nobody really gets too excited about these historic wildfires anymore because they literally happen all the time. On Monday, a series of 7 earthquakes along the New Madrid Fault made headlines all over the nation. Officials with the Evansville-Vanderburgh County Emergency Management Agency in Indiana saw 7 earthquakes happening Monday morning around the New Madrid Fault line, and according to Missouri State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, 5 earthquakes were detected near Martson, Missouri, while 2 were detected near Wrigley, Tennessee. The good news is that these quakes were fairly small. But if the New Madrid fault is waking up, that should deeply alarm all of us. The largest earthquakes ever recorded in the continental United States occurred along the New Madrid fault. And scientists assure us that this is just a matter of time before more enormous earthquakes strike the region. In recent years, nobody has written more about the great cataclysm that will eventually strike the New Madrid fault. We've been warned over and over again that it is coming, but most people are not interested in such warnings. And speaking of earthquakes, last week the state of California received a magnitude 7 earthquake wake-up call. The quake was so powerful it actually turned a body of water 500 miles away into a massive sloshing bathtub. The powerful 7 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Northern California on December 5th sent shock waves 500 miles away, turning Devil's Hole, a remote pool in Death Valley National Park, into a massive sloshing bathtub. The seismic event known as a Sigh caused a 2-foot-high waves in the pool, which is the only natural habitat for the critically endangered Devil's Hole pupfish. The quake struck at 10:44 a.m., and within minutes the normally still waters of Devil's Hole were roiling. The sudden turbulence swept organic matter from the pupfish's critical spawning shelf into the depths of the cavern, which extends over 500 feet. Hardly anyone is even talking about the giant earthquake that hit the Californian coast last week, because several more major disasters have occurred since then. Historic disasters are happening so frequently that it's almost impossible to keep up with them all. Of course, what has been happening in the United States is just the tip of the iceberg. Weather patterns have gone completely nuts all over the world, and this is one of the factors that is really driving up global food prices. If planetary conditions continue to become even more unstable, what is 2025 going to look like? You might want to think about it, because 2025 is just a few weeks away. This is by Michael Snyder on End of the American Dream. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. About the author, Michael Snyder's new book, Why, is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophets of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News, and he always freely, happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.